So, welcome everybody to the second part of the event. My name is Nicola Zazzari. Again, I'm a communication specialist for CYBERWISER.eu. So basically, let me give you an overview of the second part of the event. So, what this part will look like. So here we want to take you through the opportunity to apply to test for free the CYBERWISER.eu platform, which you have seen in the morning session with the demo we gave you. So I will talk about a brief introduction, and I will explain how this, let's say, free trial will work basically for you. Then we would have a shorter demo, but that will basically show you some of the advanced components. So we are showing something new which hasn't been shown during the morning demo. Thanks again with my colleague Ange and Guillermo. We will have then a 10 minutes, let's say, question and answer time with you based on the presentation that you have seen, and then basically we go into the practical part. So from 3:30. So basically we will split into different breakout rooms into smaller groups. In each of the breakout rooms, you will have one cybersecurity tutor, which will basically guide you through feel basically the application that we need you to complete in order to apply to receive the CYBERWISER.eu free trial. You will see it's really simple, and the tutor will be there basically to guide you through this process, and you can ask questions and you can have a directly chat with him. In case you got more technical, let's say, question, you can ask them, and in case we are not able to give you an immediate answer, we will try to answer it in email in the coming days. Okay, so let me show a quick presentation that I've done just to introduce this session. Let me share my screen. So basically, what's the free trial about that we are offering? So basically, as I was mentioning before, this is your opportunity to try the platform for free. You might sign up as an individual, or you may sign up as many members as you want to take the training. So this is up to you, and you will be indicating this with your CYBERWISER tutor during the breakout session. How does it work? So the free trial basically is we have prepared, let's say, 3 simple packages that I will talk about in a second. So the trial will be based upon these 3 packages that we have prepared, that have obviously different features according to the one that you will choose. So we will interact with you during the breakout session after we explained these packages and having got the demo. During the breakout, we will gather your training requirements by filling out the form, and we will help you in doing this, and you will see it's really simple. What happens after that? So you can start your trial at any time. There's a space on the form to ask for a specific, let's say, time to start your training path, but remember that it must be completed by September. And also, I should mention that the exercise that we have shown in today's demo session, for example, the exercise in the cyber range, obviously require a tutor from our side in order to be carried out. So there will be the need to be scheduled with our team So we will be scheduling, for those of you who apply to the free trial, we will be scheduling a specific session to carry out the cyber range exercise. So I was talking about the package that we have prepared. So just to give you an idea of this package, here we built some of the personas that could use and could find this package useful. So the first that we are going to look into is John. John is part of an administrative staff of basically what are these mentioned. So he's working basically on a daily basis, dealing with communication and handling of personal data, since he's working on an e-commerce, but has a very low level of IT skills. So it's really not at all a technical guy. So John has a superficial kind of knowledge of the cybersecurity world, let's say, and furthermore has not received any formal training about that. So we envisaged for this type of user, the main package that is going to be more helpful for them is the first package, which we called Primer, which is always offered for free. So the Primer includes basically 7 modules. You will see listed there. We have a wide range of common, basically cyber threats and most common attacks, like ransomware, phishing, data leakage, etc. So it's basically suitable for students, early professional, or people who basically has a very, very low experience in cybersecurity. So it's more like on an awareness raising level. The whole course is basically is estimated duration, let's say, is 5 hours. And you can access it as you have seen in this morning demo. So you can access online through the e-learning courses. So there's no need for you to install any software. Each of the 7 modules contain a revision quiz and an exam, and also obviously the training material to prepare you for that. At the end of each module, a certificate is issued to the participant. And in this kind of package, since it revolves mainly around raising awareness on cybersecurity topic, no exercises on cyber range is actually involved. So we just have the let's say the online learning part. The second package that we foresee is basically is targeting basically more advanced and more skilled user. So in this case, our persona is Mary, so the corporate communication manager of a digital IT agency. So basically on a day-to-day basis, working in website management and managing data on behalf of her different customers. So she's more skilled than the previous persona, but still at a very at a basic level. So she's interested in knowing how more about cyber risk and cybersecurity topics, and most importantly, how can they impact basically the business of its organization. So for this type of user, we envisage a second package which we called Basic, which is building upon the Primer one and adding some other features that the Primer obviously don't have. So the good thing is that choosing this kind of free package, so the second one, the Basic, you will have 3 modules coming from the Basic plus the 7 of the Primer, and all the people that basically will sign up for this kind of free trial will get also a discount price if they want to take forward their training path and choose the entire Basic path. So in this case, we have 10 modules, as you can see from my orso. So we have the 7 modules which were already included in the Primer, plus we have 3 modules coming from this coming from the basic package. In this module, we have our first hint and first look at the cyber range with the, you can see the awareness of password weaknesses scores. Here is basically where the user, as we seem very similarly to what you saw today, will access the cyber range, will find himself in a simulation training environment, and will have to perform some exercises there that were designed by us. So the course duration in total is foreseen as 8 hours plus 1.5 hour session to have the let's say the session on the cyber range completed. Things to bear in mind is that, as I was saying at the beginning, cyber range session must be scheduled with us. The online, let's say, part, so the theory, the quizzes, and the exam, you can take it anytime, anywhere. For the cyber range session, we need to schedule calls basically with you. So we need to find a date which is suitable for us and for you in order to carry this out for, in this case, 1.5 hours. The last package is that we offer is what we call the extended cyber range. Is the more advanced, the one that we offer as a free trial. So in this case, the persona has higher skills than the previous ones that is seen. So is already familiar with the basic cybersecurity. Probably is also facing cybersecurity issues on a daily basis. So let's imagine him like a more technical IT guy, which needs to manage infrastructure or website of the company. So it's really for IT specialists of a small organization. Even in this case, the extended cyber range is building upon the previous one. So in addition to what we already seen, this third package is also offering 2 more exercises on the cyber range. And again, the organization who will decide to go for this kind of trial will get a discounted price if then they want to move to take the full package. So as I was mentioning, the package number 3 is the most complete one. So you have the primer, you have the set of model of the primer, and then you have the basic one with the awareness of password weaknesses that we already saw, but also the awareness of phishing and the SQL injection, which are coming from 2 other let's say path that we have. So again, in this case, you have 3 different exercises on the cyber range, which you would need to be scheduling for us, and you will see different types of attacks and ways to respond to cyber threat for a total of 12 hours duration of the entire course, and let's say more or less 5 hours in the hands-on session regarding the cyber range. So and that is basically what we offer you as a trial. So 3 package: primer based on raising awareness on the most common, let's say, cybersecurity topic; basic, in which you get a first hint of the cyber range with a simple exercise, which is the awareness of password weaknesses, and obviously 3 other modules of the basic, and then the extended cyber range, in which you get basically all of that that we talked about before, plus 3 exercises of the cyber range. So it will give you a really in-depth view of what the platform can do. And again, for each one of the package, for each one of the package, basically you will get a discounted price if then you will decide to move on and to acquire the entire training path. So that was it. I don't know, for the introduction, I don't know if there are questions in the chat, because I can actually see this. Let me check. No. So if you have any question, and if you want to write it in the chat, feel free to go ahead. If not, we can move on to the next into the next session. Okay, so I don't see any other questions. So, wait, just so Cyber Range requires physical presence of one team from you. Yes, we require the not physical, but we need to schedule some calls basically to carry out the Cyber Range exercise. You receive certification from the free trial. Obviously, it's the CYBERWISER.eu certification. But yes, I mean, the certificate that you saw in today's demo is available in any of the modules that you will choose. So whichever package you choose, you will have a certification, obviously, if you successfully pass it. And so the discount, we still need to discuss it, but we can take this, we can get back to you in email, basically. So the discount is something that we need to discuss on a one-on-one basis with all of you. It depends really on which kind of package. It is also possible, Maria, to participate as individual. Yes. And you will see when we will fill out the forms. So you can basically decide if just you, or I don't know, 10, 12, or 25 people can take basically the course. And sorry, another question. How are we going to be able to start the course and attend the exam? So you will fill out the application form, first of all, in the next session. Then we will create the workspace for your organization, you on your organization. We will need you to send us the name of the trainees from your side, and we need to create accounts for them. Once these are created, basically you can start, you can almost start right away to take the courses. And I repeat, the online courses and the exam will be available to you anytime, anywhere. The only thing that needs to be scheduled are the Cyber Range sessions, which we would need to be scheduling with you with a sort of calendar. And I think now it's better if we move. So thanks for the other question. We will try to answer it during the question and answer after the demo. And anyway, you can chat with the individual tutors during also the breakout session. So I think that concludes my presentation. So I think it would be good now if we move on to the demo with the advanced component. Ange and Guillermo, are you ready to do this?
Yes.
I think we are already a little bit late.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you, and I think you can share your screen if you want.
Okay, sure. Yeah, so it will be me presenting again. Okay, I'm sharing my screen. So here we go. This is going to be another practical demonstration, in a way, something similar to what we've seen before lunch today. And here we prepared this simple scenario to demonstrate some additional CyberWiser components that we haven't seen before. And those components are attack simulator and vulnerability assessment tools. And again, here I have the trainer's view of this scenario. So I'm logged in as a trainer, and the attack type in this scenario is a simple SSH brute force. So basically guessing a password by going through a dictionary of possible passwords, basically. And in this scenario, we have a red team and a blue team. So we have attackers and defenders. And the blue team, in this case, has these 5 servers that they need to defend. And out of these 5 servers, one of them, so several of them have SSH enabled, and one of them has SSH password authentication enabled, which means that on that server, an SSH brute force attack can be issued. And the goal of the blue team here would be to find the vulnerable machine and disable password authentication so that this wouldn't get exploited. And for the red team, their goal is to also find the vulnerable machine and to carry out an SSH brute force attack towards that machine. And we can see here that the only machine in this network, beside the servers and some gateway in between, is this runtime machine, which is part of these CyberWiser components, actually. So it's part of the attack simulator and vulnerability assessment tools. So the red team does not have direct access to this machine. The red team actually doesn't have any machine on this network, but they can accomplish their tasks by interacting with the attack simulator interface through their kiosk machine here. And another thing that I want to show you as a trainer is this training player view, which enables the scenario designer to configure various tasks that will be automatically triggered during the exercise. So in this scenario, we've configured a recurring vulnerability scan that actually gets triggered every minute of when the scenario is started. And it records whether the vulnerability is still present in the scenario. So in this case, it simply checks whether password authentication on the SSH server is enabled on the machine that is vulnerable. So this means that it will record this, and after the blue team will fix the vulnerability, we will be able to automatically know when that happened, and based on that, we can also automatically grade the blue team's performance. Okay, so if we go on as a trainer now, I can just start the exercise. Okay, exercise started. And then I also have here open the blue teams and the red teams windows. So I'm going to go to the red teams screen. So as you can see, as a red team member, I can only interact with this red team kiosk machine. I can see all the other machines, but I cannot interact with them, basically. And for this one, I can open the VNC viewer, and through this machine, I can access the this advanced components of CyberWiser. So I'm logging in with my one-time password here. So the red team now has to first see which of the machines are vulnerable. So firstly, they'll do a very simple scan. So so this interface is basically set up so it helps both the red and blue teams, even if it's such a simple scenario. But let's say we have some people with a very basic knowledge, so they can create simply a vulnerability check. Oops, I should select this option. Okay, and here they can select some vulnerability scanners, but they only need Nmap because they just want to find out as a first step which machines have SSH, an SSH server enabled. So they will choose Nmap, and we have some simple profiles, so you don't even have to know the Nmap syntax. You can just select the basic discovery with port selection. And so I want to scan port 22, and I want to scan it on the whole network. And on this here, I'm able to see the so the starting IP and the subnet mask of this network. So I want to scan all this network. So simply I can write the network address. I'm going to just name this task, and I can start the scan immediately. Okay, run scan. And now I see here that it's in progress, and when it finishes, we'll be able to see some results here. Okay, so now I'm switching to the blue team. Meanwhile, while this scan is running, so the blue team's objective again is to secure those servers that they have under control. So they would go, for example, one by one, because they have access to these servers, as you can see. So I can just log in to this interface here. And I can check whether SSH is enabled. And I can see here that actually the service is enabled, but the process is exited. So there's nothing I need to do here right now. So let's say this machine is safe currently. And I can go to the other machine. And do the same thing. Here I see that it's running. So maybe I can check whether password authentication is enabled. It's not. So this machine is fine as well. Okay, and the blue team will just go on and check the other servers like that. So back to the red team. Now, I suppose the scan should be completed by now. Okay, yes, and here's the scan report. So we've seen it finished, and we can open the report here, and we can see here which machines have port 22 open. So it's this one, and this one. And also as an output of Nmap, we can also see which version of the SSH server is running there and which operating system. So I see that the machines that I want to target are 3, 4, and 6 at the end of their IP. So, okay, as a red team member, I can now go to this attack simulator interface and just set up some attacks against those machines. So here again, to help the red team, we already have a template here to do an SSH brute force attack. So I can just select this. We can see here the contents of the script. There's this parameter that I will need to provide, but other parameters are already set by default, and the student can also check what the script actually does in detail if they want to. And beside the script, you also have a list of top 100,000 most popular passwords. So the script will just go on and try these one by one against the server. So I'm selecting this script. I need to put in some, so the parameters that I want, but I just need to provide the rhost parameter. So the target machine, basically. And I don't need any other. Okay. So I just named this task. This is gonna go towards the .3 machine. And also I can set a time limit after how many seconds or minutes or hours do I want this to stop. So I don't want to stop it immediately. So otherwise, I think we're all good. I can just start the attack. Okay, and we can see that the attack was created. Oh, and it's already finished. So we can see an error here. It finished after just 4 seconds. And also the red team can now examine why this error happened or what's going on with this attack. So they can just open this and see the output of the script that was run. And we can see that the script said permission denied public key, which means that the SSH server actually wanted a public key, not a password. So a brute force attack will not be possible towards this machine. And now the red team can just copy this task and trigger it towards another machine. So we had .4. Just doing the same thing. Run the attack. Okay, now we see that it's in progress. So this one is done, this one is in progress. And we can create another one for the third machine that we know, which has the SSH enabled. So it was .6. Just doing again the same thing. Run the attack. Okay, and this one finished with the same error as the first one. So now we can see that the second one is still running. So towards the 10-10-10-4 machine. Okay. So the attack is running for the red team, and the blue team will, in the meanwhile, find the machine that is actually vulnerable and that the attack is being carried out towards. So I can log in here. Yes. And here, just checking what's happening with password authentication in the settings. Password authentication is enabled here. Okay. Oops, changing a read-only file. I have to do it like this. Okay, so as the blue team, I will now disable password authentication on this SSH server. Okay, I think that should be correct. And if we go back to the red team interface to see what's happening with their attack, we can see that now also this attack is done, it's finished. And we can see another error here, container finished execution after just 2 minutes. And we can open again the output of the attack script. So we can see that permission denied messages. There were, I don't know, this many tries. And at the end, again, it said permission denied. I want a public key. I don't want your password. So that's it. And the attack failed because the blue team had fixed the vulnerability. Okay, so that was it for the red and blue team. And again, if we look at the trainer's view, the trainer has a similar interface here in their workstation. Okay. So as I'm logged in as the trainer now, I can see all the tasks that were submitted here by the red team in the tech simulator, and also in the vulnerability assessment tools. I can see a red team task, and I can see another task that is owned by CyberWiser, and that's actually the task that I showed you at the beginning in the scenario timeline. So that's the automatic scan that's being run every minute. So if I go and see this, I see I don't know, 15 executions more or less here. So we can see that in the first executions that are, so they're being run every minute. And since it started, there were, I'm not sure how many, a dozen executions where the vulnerability was detected. So it was still there. And at some point, here we can see there's new reports coming in. So at some point between this time and this time, so around a couple of minutes ago, the vulnerability was fixed by the blue team. So from this point on, the reports say vulnerability not detected. So based on this, actually we can connect this to the other components of CyberWiser, and the blue team can be automatically graded based on things like this. And that's it. Now I can finish the exercise. And okay, I can see exercise finish, and then this executions, this vulnerability scans will also stop now. And that's it. The exercise finished also for the students. And yeah, that concludes the demonstration here. So that's it from my side. Back to you, Nicolo.
Yeah, thanks. I was on mute, so I try to answer some of the questions in the chat, the ones that I could at least. So I think we're running a little bit late, so I think it would be good to move into the actual application session. But first of all, let me just clarify a few things. So, because we received many questions which were basically the same. So I repeat, primer as basically so the first package, which we call primer, is basically included the theoretical material, the revision quiz, and the exams. So no cyber range is involved in there. And this is offered for free, so you can take it anytime, anywhere. Basic and extended cyber range package instead have all the primer in them, and they add the cyber range exercises on that. So this is the division we have. By the way, we will be sharing with you also the slides that I presented in the beginning of this afternoon session, so you will have a clearer look at what what each package basically is. And in the tutoring basically part that we are entering right now, basically you can ask more questions to your tutor, and if there's a question that we are not able to answer it, please drop us an email or get it back to us, and we will be happy to reply. So with this, I'd like you to exit this call, and we are going to move into the launch section on the vFair platform. So please, everybody, join the first room, which is called Enroll Your Team for Free Training, room number 1. So we will go there and we will basically divide you into small groups and assign you to a person, which will be the CYBERWISER.eu tutor, which will answer to your question and we will guide you through the completion of the application form that we have online. This will be the first steps to actually start the training path. So again, let's leave this room and join on the launch the enroll your team for free training #1. See you there.